to my craft room. My name's Julianne Richards and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in southern Tasmania. Just wait for a few minutes while people join and I'll make sure that my live is live. Let's have a look. It takes a few minutes. It's actually a bit of a delay. There we go. Seems to be. Live is live. And the volume is definitely okay. We're going to turn that down. A few minutes. It's actually turn that volume down. It sounds all right. Looks a little bit pale there, but a little bit dark on my iPad. I wonder if that's just the lights need positioning. But anyway, let's go. We're going to I'm going to move that because it looks like it's too far up. There we go. Back at some live crafting after a bit of a break. Apologies if you've been waiting for me to come back. We've had some pretty amazing things happen in the house, good and bad, over the last few weeks. We've got a house full of people and animals. My son and his partner have moved home while they do up their house for sale, so it's now on the market, so the pressure is off there a little bit. And obviously, as I probably mentioned to a few of you, I've got some health issues with my mum, which I've been dealing with over the last few weeks as well. But anyway, so hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, a few of those issues have calmed down a little bit and we'll be able to get back to some regular live crafting. We've got some people coming on. Hey, Sharon, thanks for joining me. And just, if you'd like to jump on, say hi, tell me where you're watching from. I'd love to know how far and abroad we're going. Anyway, so been a little bit of a change of philosophy with my crafting over the last few weeks as well. I've sort of been trying to work out what my aims are and where I'm going with it, and have sort of decided that my days of buying just about everything in the catalogue, using it once and then selling it secondhand are probably past. We're going to try and save to go on our big European adventure sometime next year, and that sort of buying thousands and thousands of dollars worth of the catalogue to, as I say, use it once and then sell it at a loss is probably not something I can sustain and try and save for our European adventure. So you'll probably notice a little bit different that I'm going to buy a couple of bundles from each catalogue, ones that I actually like, ones that I think I'll use forever and ever, and you'll probably notice that I use those a little bit more than I probably would have in the past. You'll probably see them for a few videos rather than just one. So as a response to that, I will probably do more techniques. I'll probably do more fun fold cards that you can use just about any bundle on. And as I say, you might see the same bundle a few times rather than just once. So just a little bit of a reassessment of my crafting. I want to keep crafting because it's basically good therapy. As we all know, you can get through just about anything in life if you can get back to your happy place and sort of let all the worries go. And that's definitely what I plan on keep on doing, probably just on a bit more of a budget than I have. So I'm sure there's lots of you who can agree with that you just can't keep spending and spending and spending. Especially if life is taking you in a different direction. Okay, so let's get crafting. Enough of the deep and meaningfuls. We're going to make a really pretty little card. Now, this is the Brushed with Beauty suite. It actually came out in the November online release, but because I was having my little enforced break, I didn't sort of show you much from the November release. It's really a gorgeous release. I bought 2 bundles from it, one of it being the Words of Beauty, which is this one here, and I've got the Hobby Haven one as well, which I'll show you over the next couple of weeks. I've also got a pre-order here from the new catalogue. I don't think I've got one here. The new mini catalogue, which I do have supplies of if you would like to grab one. If you don't have an active demonstrator, I have supplies of the new catalogue if you'd like me to pop you on my list. But anyway, this is the card we're going to make. I was going through all my favourite fun fold cards recently as I cut and prepared for my last fun fold class for a while, and I thought I really, really like this upright easel. So I thought I'd pop the upright easel on today. We can make that one. It's a really, really pretty card, and it just it just is so pretty on display. I think it's just a real highlight. So I'm going to use the Brushed with Beauty Designer Series paper, which I think is a real highlight from that release. And as I say, the Words of Beauty dies and stamps. And you'll notice that these are in our new stamp and die packaging. Jury's a bit out for me as far as how I'm going to store them. I know that you can get a lot of space saving just with the new packaging. So I mean, there's like, what, 5 or 6 bundles there, and I'm holding them in one hand. So, but you know, it's going to make a little bit of a change in the craft room as to how we store those babies and can easily access them. But anyway, we're going to be using the Words of Beauty and the paper, and the bling that comes with the suite is the Pearls of Beauty, and we'll use those as well. So anyway, here we go. So I haven't actually cut any of the paper yet. I thought it'd be nice for you to see me cut the paper and get the measurements and all those sorts of things. Just going to zoom out a bit, so bear with me, so you can see more of the what's the word? The trimmer. There we go, and you can see I've got the measurements here, but I can pop them in the description if anyone is keen on those after we've finished. Okay, so I've got some early espresso cardstock, and I'm going to cut 2 pieces of that. The first one is 5 7/8. This is also the new me. I'm not wasting any of my cardstock, so basically my card bases, hopefully, or mostly, I'm not going to say all the time, will be half a piece of A4, so there's no waste there. And this one has got to be reduced to 8 inches. There we go. And then I'm going to score it at 1 3/8, which I'll do on that side of the score blade. It is quite different having a house full of animals and people at the moment. We're still getting used to it. You add back 2 people's worth of stuff and animals worth of stuff. Animals have a lot of stuff. You do tend to find your house is a little bit fuller than it once was, but we're going okay. It's nice. It's nice to have a family home again rather than just the 2 of us. Okay, so that's the main bit of the card base. It actually flips up like this. So you've got that sort of mechanism there. All right. The second piece of early espresso that I need is 4.5 by 3 1/8. So 3 1/8 by 4.5. And this is our little forward-facing easel part. There we go. And that goes, yes, I am a left-handed trimmer user, Sharon. Is that you as well? I'm not actually left-handed, but I do several things left-handed. Makes me think that possibly I am left-handed, but when I was at school, as they did back then, they sort of taught the left-handedness away from us. So yeah, I think I probably am left-handed. I do enough things left-handed to think maybe I am. And my eldest is left-handed, so if there's any genetic component, maybe he got that from me, because there's no actually left-handed people in the family except for him and possibly me. So yeah, I am a bit of a weird. My ladies who come for classes sort of go mad at me because everything's on the wrong side when it comes to using my trimmer, and they try and move it around, but I say no, don't move it. It's my trimmer, it's set up that way. Anyway, so there we go. So we've got our 2 pieces of early espresso. I don't know why I put the trimmer away, because we still need it. Now I'm going to use, rather than Whisper White, I still go back to Whisper White. Rather than white, I'm going to use Very Vanilla for the inside of this one and for the sentiments, etc. And Whisper White, I need 2.5 by 5 5/8. So 2.5 by 5 5/8. Okay, so that goes inside. I also need, and I've got my, here we go. I need my 2 3/8 circle, which I'll punch now. Okay, and we're going to die cut it as well, but I'll do that once I've stamped the sentiment, so we'll do that later. Okay, so, and our paper. Now let's have a quick look at the Brushford Beauty paper. You've probably mostly seen this. I know it is a featured paper for Stampin' Up at the moment. They've got an online class that's coming up that uses the paper and the rest of the suite as well. So if you're interested in doing some other online classes with Stampin' Up themselves, so have a look online for those. I'm going to use this one here, this gorgeous sort of flower pattern here for the easel part. And I used the stripes originally, but I thought this time I would swap to the dots, the dashes for the other designer series paper this time. This paper has this side here, and I think these little flowers are excellent for fussy cutting. So if you you can sort of, they're small enough that you can use them just as a single focus, or you can bunch them in groups of 3 or whatever to make more of a substantial focal point. But yeah, a very handy little page there for fussy cutting. So I sort of haven't used much of that, but in this case I am. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to use the other side, and I'm going to cut 3 strips at 1 1/8 each. I will pop the metric measurements up with the description if you'd like them, but it's just easier for me to work with the inches. Okay, so I want those 1 1/8 by 5 5/8. I want 3 of them. 1, 2, and the last one, number 3. Okay, so there's three of those, and the last one is this one here, and it is 2 7/8 by 4 1/4. So 4 1/4 by 2 7/8. There we are. So that's that. And the only thing I have left to cut is the sentiment box, which I'll die cut soon. Oh, and the other bits. So let's bring everything that we've cut in, get rid of what we don't need, and we'll pop this baby together. Okay, so this one here, the front facing easel part, goes with this one that we've cut that fits perfectly. So we'll glue that. Now, I don't know if any of you managed to get what you would like during the Black Friday sale. I know there was some disappointment that various things sold out within hours, and sadly now are sold out for quite some time. But we do have our last chance refresh happening on the 2nd of December, which will include stuff from the Christmas catalogue. So, and we've been told that some things are up to 60% off. So if there's anything you'd like to have a check of that. We don't know exactly what we're looking at the moment, exactly what's on sale, but yeah, it might take away some of the disappointment if you missed out on the Good Friday sale. Okay, so there we go. So we've got our 3 strips of designer series paper here. One is going to sit on the back section there. One will sit on that little forwards face, that's a part of our easel there, and the other one will sit on the foreground inside the card there. So let's pop those on. Back here, and then when the card's closed, they look basically like 3 panels on the front of a normal card, which is really cool. That's very weird. My thingy is telling me that if anyone's watching on YouTube, could they send me a little message or put a comment in? It doesn't seem, after me thinking I'd set myself up, it doesn't seem like we've got any YouTube people on. I just want to make sure it is actually going over there. So if you're watching on YouTube, please just pop me a little message through. If not, I may have to share over there later. A little bit disappointing if it's not going there, because it's where everyone seems to watch these days. Anyway, there we go. Oh, and I was going to share it. Apologies, guys. I'm just going to share it over to group, which I usually do. There we go. Share to there. A little bit late. Better late than never. Okay, so we've got the 3 strips of that there. I wonder where it is actually connected. Okay, so it tells me it's going to YouTube. Maybe it's just a bit slow over there getting on. Okay, so there we are. So we have our 3 panels. And as I say, when the card's closed, it looks like they're just all on the front of the card. And because the little easel goes on the front like that. And we'll do that. We'll pop that on now. So I'm just going to pop some glue just in the sort of centre here, because we're only just going to attach our little easel to the centre of the front one. And I'm going to position it so it looks like it's in the middle of the card. So just like that. Glue wants to move. There we go. So that's our upright easel there, as you can see. Last thing to do on the card itself is to pop our Very Vanilla panel in for our personal message, and that pops in the back here. There we are. Okay, so there we are. Right. Okay, so let's get, now we can do the fun bit. We can actually start decorating it. So I have our circle, which I'm going to pop on the front there. Don't want to cover over too much of our pretty paper, but that's going to go there. And then what I'm going to do is use the dies and the stamp set from the Words of Beauty. I'm going to grab the because. So I'm going to use the dies mostly for the because. I'm going to use the sort of the highlight. There's 2 parts to it. There's actually lots of parts to it. You can see there with the dies you've got it just, and the just comes in 3 sections, and the because comes in 3 sections as well. And then you've got these really cute little sentiment boxes as well that go with the dies with the stamp set as well. It's going to get very confusing for me trying to work out which is which these days, because they both have the same packaging. At a glance they look very similar. Okay, so now if you're very clever, cleverer than me, you can probably use the adhesive, double-sided adhesive paper to make it easier with the because it's quite intricate. I have never been successful, sadly, with adhesive paper. I just can't get it to work. I don't know whether it's my die plates are not good enough, or I don't know what it is. Anyway, I'm going to just use glue and hope for the best that I don't make too much mess. So I'm going to put the background in Early Espresso and the highlight in our Very Vanilla. Just get rid of some of that. I only want a little piece. So if anyone's got any tips or tricks how to use the double-sided adhesive paper, I'd love to know. I just can't seem to get it to cut. I've tried using a shim, tried using different plates, I've tried different sort of like configurations when it comes to popping it through the machine, lengthways, sideways, upside down ways. Just, no, won't work for me. Anyway, we'll live with it. Okay, so cut and emboss machine is actually somewhere handy today. I'm very organised. Still no sign of anyone on YouTube, so must be some reason not live over there. But anyway, that's all right. I'll load the video up later. So this is the because. The detail of the because. Yeah. And you probably can't hear it because I've got a certain configuration on my mic, but there's a very sad cat in the background calling for its, I don't know, second breakfast or something. It's different having cats back in the family. We've been a dog family for a while. Definitely a cat family now. Okay, and there's the background of the because as well. Now I'm going to, as I say, you can hear the cat, can you, Margie? I think he's so loud, just about everybody could hear the cat. But anyway, that's him. You would never die not knowing where Maverick is. He will always tell you. And those of you who've been following me for a while will realise that Maverick actually was living with Ben and Izzy during COVID, when they were actually living with us, and they went and adopted him then. And he was just the tiniest little grey ball of fluff. He was so small, and he'd squeeze under bookcases and attack you. And yeah, so his first 6 months or a year was here. So he's adapted to being home quite easily. It's like he's just back in his old stomping ground. What's the word? Terrorising us, just like the old days. Okay, there we go. So that's the because. So I've popped it on the background there. That didn't go too badly with the glue. There's not too many horrid bits there. Yeah, I will have to try some other ways with the adhesive paper, Sharon. I just didn't want to have it go terribly wrong today in front of a whole group of people, so we'll see. Well, maybe I'll do it and try and perfect it when I'm on my own and not on public display. So there we are. So that's our because, sort of nice, very vanilla up front, and a sort of a nice brown background there. So let's pop this on. So we've got our circle now. I'm going to stamp the just because, so the just from the stamp set, but I want to make sure I pop it in the right place. I wasn't really happy with where it ended up on the original card. So I'll pop that there. Now the because is going to come across the centre like that. And I want to grab the just out of the stamp set. So the stamp set has a lot of lovely sort of sentiments that go well together. We've got just because, that's the two main ones. And you've also got just because as the plainer text as well. And then we've got just because I love you, just because you've been on my mind, just because I think you're amazing, just because I appreciate you, just because it's your birthday, which is the one I'm going to use, just because you're a great friend, just because you're kind or sweet or lovely. So there you are. Lots of just becauses why you can give somebody a card with that one. But we're going to go, I'm trying to build up my birthday stash. So I'm going to go just because it's your birthday, like we did with the original one. I'm actually going to give the original one to my sister for her birthday today. So Margie says I have YouTube. Oh, good. So I am over there. Must just be nobody. I usually get a couple of live YouTube people, but anyway, that's all good. I've been away for a while. Maybe they've stopped looking. Okay, so just because it's your birth. Oh, and I want the just as well. Okay, so pop that there. I just need a little block and a bigger block. Yep, that way. So I'll put my because on there. I'm going to pop the because onto some dimensionals, just because I want it to be a little bit higher up. Now it's really good the size of this die, because I can fit large dimensionals in where I need rather than fiddling with the small ones, which is very good. Pop those on first. Here we are. Cute. I'll get the just. I'm going to use my early espresso ink. There we go. With our just. And I wanted that a little bit closer to the, because that's what I wasn't happy with before. There we go. Yep, that's better. I like that positioning better. Okay, and I'll grab my It's Your Birthday. Very soon, what time is it now? Another 20 minutes there'll be an open home at the house, which is really exciting. I think I'm actually a bit more excited than the kids about the prospect of the house selling. That could be understandable, but because we did so much work there, I'm just really keen for it to pay off. Hopefully, touch wood, we'll get a sale pretty soon. If you're in the market for a little tiny house in Lindisfarne, Tasmania, please come and have a little look at it. Well, hang on. Now, I warned myself that I wasn't going to do this. The new packaging, make sure you don't close the paper down before you replace the plastic shim, because it will stick and it will cause mayhem. So, yeah, it's one thing to remember with the new packaging. I don't know how other demos are dealing with that. I haven't actually watched anyone. I've sort of been tucked away in my own little cocoon the last few weeks, but I haven't watched to see how anyone else is handling the new packaging. But I'm sure there'll be clever people who work out best way to do it. So I'm going to use this nice long die here. I'll stand up again and get my machine. Now, I am doing a paper share from the new catalogue. I've picked 9 of the new designer series papers, including 2 of the specialty and 1 of the 2 of the specialty designer series paper and 1 of the specialty paper. I don't know what this, anyway, 2. So 3 special papers included in that 9. So I am taking orders for that if you'd like to try before you buy. There's some gorgeous, gorgeous papers in the new catalogue. I think it's the highlight of the catalogue, to be honest, with the brand new paper. Some really nice designs. So as I say, if you'd like to try 9 of those with a quarter pack, save some money just in case you don't like them, please reach out and pop your name down for my paper share. So you'll get 9 quarter packs, including postage and handling, for $62, which I suppose is much better than buying all those papers and then finding that you don't like half of them if you buy full packs. There we go. Pop the little dimensionals off this one. Pop this up. So I'm going to pop this so that the upright easel sits quite upright. I'm going to pop it just on there. Try and get it central. I wasn't actually central with the other one. I sort of was a little bit disappointed that I wasn't. So about there, I think. It's a bit hard to tell with your fingers and thumbs all over the place, but about there. So it'll sit upright like that. Okay, last thing we need is some bling, and then we can all get on with the rest of our day. So I'm going to use the beautiful, this sort of coffee coloured bling. I think it's actually supposed to be a light version of early espresso. So I'll pop a couple of those on as well. So 3 on there and a couple down here as well. This is a special card. It gets 5 bling. There we go. And that's our card for today. So this is our Brushed with Beauty suite, or components of it, with our upright easel card. There we go. As I say, I will pop the measurements in the comments of this video if you'd like to have a go yourself. I always love to see the cards you guys come up with as a result of my videos. So please pop the pictures on the page. There we go. So that's our upright easel. I like the proportions of this one better. As I say, that just was a little bit too far away for me. I quite like it nice and close there. And there we are. So I think I'll give my sister this one because I like it. There we go. Anyway, so thanks for joining me today. Really pleased to be back and hopefully doing some regular crafting with you on Saturday and Sunday mornings, or Saturday or Sunday, depending on what's happening in the world. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. And I will catch you all next weekend.